Yeah, I heard Melissa Etheridge on XM while I was driving the car. That woman can
Come to
belt it
my
out.
window.
Oh, she's the greatest.
Come inside, way by the light of the room. Come to my window.
Thank God we
I'll be home.
I'm coming home.
I'm coming home.
Gosh, she could race. Good thing we got us great mics. You know, so we sound so good.
That hurt.
Oh, welcome into Scoop City on a Wednesday. I'm James Palmer. Huge week 12 for one team in particular and maybe the entire AFC. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please just smash that like button. That's what they say on the internet. What we're going to go through, Dianna Russini and I today, we're going to talk about Caleb Williams and the Bears. Are they for real? Is these late game heroics sustainable? We'll find out. How about Justin Jefferson? Is he still being very patient with the situation he's in? We've heard a lot from A.J. Brown. Nothing from Justin Jefferson at all. And I mentioned a team that Week 12 was very big for, the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, just lost on the road in Denver, now faces the Indianapolis Colts. This is a monster. We'll tell you why coming up next. Now, Dianna Russini, the Athletics senior NFL insider, joins me now. And you got a real nice look on you today, Dianna. I'm not going to lie.
It's I'm having a little identity crisis right now. It's like,
explain.
You know, I was just going to do the hood, but I wanted to be a professional because you're a pro. So I was like, I'll throw the blazer over it. And so now it's just a mishmash. So
no, I like the hood. It's very Andrew Whitworth of you.
It is very Andrew.
It's very wit. It's very big wit. You know, it's very big wit out there. That's his look on Thursday nights. Okay. Speaking of Thursday nights, there's a game Thursday tomorrow, but we're going to get going throughout the course of this entire Week 12 slate. Here is what we are hearing. News broke this morning, Dianna, of something that we were pretty certain of, but the Falcons come out and say it. A partially torn ACL for their quarterback, Michael Penix. He is going to need reconstructive surgery. Where are we with Michael Penix? Because his season now is officially over.
Well, aren't you just a humble little Scoop City host? You actually were the one that was all over this story. On the last episode of Scoop City, you were dropping all the nuggets on this. And of course, it was right. And look, I think they had to get some opinions from doctors on how serious this injury would be, how long the recovery would be. And then they, of course, decided, let's just get this surgery now so he can get back out on the field, as soon as possible, depending on how it works, right? We've seen a lot of these ACL injuries. Stephon Diggs comes to mind. It is not 10 years ago, right? Where it's like, oh, they're missing a year and a half. It's a pretty quick recovery now.
Yeah.
You certainly don't want that injury, but I guess good news, he's getting it dealt with. Bad news for the Falcons.
Yeah, certainly. Well, he's been through it before. He's had 2 ACLs on the other knee. So this will be really his third ACL reconstruction in 8 years going back to college. 5 of them now have ended with a season-ending injury, 3 knees and 2 shoulder injuries in college. Kind of an up and down year for him. There's some things I know they really, really like talking to people down there, Dianna. There's some things that they wish would have gone better, a little bit tighter. They had really high hopes at the start of the season. So those are going to kind of pushed off a little bit. It's now Kirk Cousins. And speaking of older quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins, how about Aaron Rodgers? Another quarterback sustaining an injury, but Aaron's season isn't over. He may even try to play here in Week 12, Dianna.
Because it's the Bears. That's why he's trying to play, right? He owns that
loves
team,
the Bears.
according to him. He's like a different human. Look, if you're Chicago, though, would you rather Aaron Rodgers, who's owned you, dealing with this wrist injury, or would you rather Mason Rudolph, who obviously hasn't played that much this season, but can do the job at a fine level, at times above average, right? We've seen him play well.
Better backup.
I don't know. If I'm the Bears, I'm like, give me A-Rod. We're new. You know what I mean? Like we're different. We're not the old Bears.
Yeah, so we're in a new regime here. We're Ben Johnson in the Bears now. You know what I mean? We're a different
James,
group.
just think about this. We are almost a year. Black Friday will be a year from when Eberflus was fired, right? So they lost on Thanksgiving in just horrid fashion. And on Friday, remember, he addressed the media over Zoom. And then they fired him. It was like the weirdest story because traditionally you don't allow a coach you're going to fire to even talk to the media if you know you're going to fire him after the game, but they still did it. So he did a Zoom with us at 9 and he was fired at noon. But look how far this team has come. in just 1 year. And it just goes to tell you, having a good head coach, having a good quarterback, get the tandem, get the duo, and you can turn it quick.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. I will say on A-Rod, I think by Friday, from listening to Mike Tomlin, Dianna, that's essentially going to be the decision. No practice Wednesday, probably no practice Thursday. They want to see with a brace if he can go under center, all that stuff. This is a later in the week thing if A-Rod's going to go, but we'll see. This is more about the Bears, honestly. But I did want to touch on one question about the Steelers before we move kind of into Chicago, because they are one of the teams we have our eye on right now. Yeah, get comfortable, Dianna. They have, the Steelers and the Bears, of the teams leading the divisions, the two worst probabilities of making the postseason of all the divisional leaders, both Pittsburgh and Chicago. So with Pittsburgh, will this be, in your mind, they are 6-4, the 19th straight season we are at 500 or better? Do you want me to give you the remaining schedule before you answer?
I know it, but I wouldn't mind refreshing my brain.
Refreshing course? Okay.
So I already know my answer. You could tell me they're playing the Rams every week, and I would probably still pick this, but go ahead.
Okay. It's at Chicago, then the Bills, at the Ravens, Dolphins, at the Lions, at Browns, Ravens.
It's like ew. It's okay. It's doable.
It is.
So based on that, and I was going to say it even before you said it, they will go above 500 again.
Wow.
They will find ways to win. They will figure this out. How could you possibly bet against them at this point? How many times have we been proven wrong? Every year, I'm like, yeah, they're not going to do it. And they do it. They slide in. So, look, it's still a tough matchup. But as you're going through these teams, and I think this is what's made this year so fascinating and fun, a lot of these teams are still trying to sort themselves out as well. Look, I know, and we talked about this last show, Josh Allen did some remarkable things in the last game, but he also did some bad things, right? Like, they still have a lot to iron out in Buffalo in order for us to be like, oh, the Bills, right? Like, everyone, the Steelers have a chance to win every single one of those games. None of the teams that you just listed off, in my opinion, are just sold solid. That's an L. No, like I think
not even the Lions on there after what you saw last week. I guess maybe skewed.
Is it at home or away?
It's at the Lions. It's in Detroit.
All right, that helps the Lions. There's your L. I'll give them one L for the Steelers. Okay. Because Jared Goff obviously indoors is.
I like that you're still riding high there with Mike T. And then he finds a way. It's what they do. But, they find a way. I had this in front of me because I thought this was fascinating. These are the two lowest also playoff odds of the 14 total teams that are sitting in the playoff contention right now. So this is a big one for both of them. So let's move over to Chicago a little bit and just what has gone on there. They have won 5 games in 2025 when they're trailing in the final 2 minutes. I mean, that's just unbelievable the way they've been able to do it. 7-3 overall. What do you take of Ben Johnson and what he's been able to do with this group? Is there a part of this team that stands out during this run that they're on more than any other maybe aspect of why they're doing this?
Yeah, well, first of all, they're just like a walking, breathing heart attack in Chicago, right? Those fans.
Can you imagine those fans? And they already got Mondays a lot of heart congestion awful. Stuff. I mean, yeah.
Exactly. It's just like
I'm
all
just
this
thinking of the guys from Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
Just struggling, just knowing that you think you're not in it, and then all of a sudden you're in it. And look, they've had different guys step up. Like, I know Caleb is the one really shining with the clutch gene in the fourth quarter, but they've had, whether it's the kicker, their tight end, different people have made big plays to get them over that hump. And to me, that's kind of been the identity of who this Bears team is right now. It's like, who's going to be the stud today? And I think that's okay as they're trying to sort themselves out. But without a doubt, like, the 1A story in Chicago is that Ben Johnson was the absolute best hire for this team. And any questions we had about whether or not he could manage a team, if he could stand in front of them, if he could get them to buy in, just watch one clip of his post-game celebrations, and it just tells you. Right?
I was going to say that. Like, that was that I know we talk about them because they're so fun. They're just so great. But, like, that was kind of that video was what I was waiting for in 2025. Like, we didn't know if that Ben Johnson existed. I would assume people in the Lions building knew that enthusiasm and that type of vibe was there, but we didn't see it a whole lot. This was our opportunity to kind of see it. You're right. You're spot on.
Yeah, and think about if you're another player too from a different team and you're seeing that. You're like, the Bears got a little something to them, Maybe that helps them in free agency as well.
Yeah.
But just the fact that Chicago has the right leader, And it's developing. It's not perfect yet, right? Ben Johnson's got to be a little frustrated with some of the play from Caleb Williams. He's not exactly on time all the time. No. And this offense isn't what I think Ben Johnson wants it to look like at this point in the season. But look at the growth from where we were week 1 to where we are now in terms of our belief in Caleb. And that is something people around the league point out, like, yeah, the Bears are really fun, but Caleb still has a little way to go. You know, like this isn't like, you know, where you're saying Drake May and you're like, oh my goodness. And I'm not saying that there's questions about whether Caleb Williams is the quarterback for the Chicago Bears moving forward. Of course he is. It's just they're
still curious about that ceiling.
Exactly. There's still some, I think, steps he has to continue to take consistently. But of course, the off script play, that type of style of play that he has is always remarkable and stands out. It's actually what really makes him special and why they're winning so many games in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. I mean, there are the little things that you're right that Ben has adjusted. When I look at, I'm going through the quarterbacks and I'm like, 16 sacks. I mean, that number 68 from last year is burned into my brain for Caleb Williams and the number of sacks he took. He's thrown 4 picks this year. Like the run game, that's a Ben Johnson thing. It's helped balance out this group. The offensive line has played better. Both those things have helped out Caleb Williams. But you mentioned that late game stuff. And Rome Odunze kind of said this about Caleb, where it's like it kind of slows down for him in the fourth quarter. It's kind of interesting to watch. Like everything just is a little beat slower for him when other guys maybe speed up or panic. And I think that trait, obviously, Ben's looking, how do I use that? There's 5. I talked to an offensive coordinator about this, Dianna. It's like there's like 4 or 5 plays a game where you're like, holy bleep. Like that play is unbelievable. Like the wow plays are there. Then there's probably Ben Johnson going over, I was told with Caleb Williams, 20 plays in their meeting going, holy, come on, man. Like it's right there for you.
It's that mixed bag. And that's fine. You know,
it is.
Look, we can do a whole show on just the Bears offense because they have been fun and exciting, but it's the defense that's really kept them in a lot of these too. They lead the league in turnovers right now with 22. I think the next best team is at 18, right? So I mean, just think of that Dallas team a couple of years ago when Dan Quinn was there, right? How monstrous of a year they had just because how those turnovers really helped, you know, in those situations. So just the fact that they're figuring out on offense, Dennis Allen's doing a good job of keeping them in these games of the defense. Look, I still don't have the Bears, James, as like a scary team in the NFC. They're going to play the Philadelphia Eagles on Black Friday, right? Which, by the way, I just came across this because my algorithms are just drunk.
Oh, let's go.
By the way, does anyone know how to clear an algorithm? Like, I just need to like
I get nervous because I heard, and I don't know if this is true, maybe you know more about Instagram than me, but I thought I heard it tracks your eyeballs. So if you even look at something in the searching, they're going to start putting those things in there.
Your
if it's tracking my retinas, I'm in a whole nother level. Then I got to go like this if something comes up over there and I don't want it to pop up in my algorithm.
Dealing with tech neck. Do you know what that is? Tech neck is this. It's like, you see how I'm all like crinkly and old looking here? I'm not supposed to look like this at my age because I'm still fairly young. It's because I'm always on my phone and I'm leaning down. So it's tech neck. So that's why when I'm texting, I need to start doing this to keep the neck up.
I had a trainer at a training camp this year walk by and tell me that. I'm sitting tweeting on my phone and he stops. He goes, hold that phone out a little further. I go, you trying to read it? He goes, tech neck, bro. Like you got to get up. And I was like, oh no.
I know it is a real thing, and it does not make me happy. But I came across this on my phone because, again, my algorithm. I wish my phone had one of those things. Like my boys have they have this fun little drawing game where it's black and has a little pen on it, and you write on it, and then you hit the button on the bottom and it clears it. Yeah. Like I wish my phone had that, and I could just clear whatever the heck I was looking at the night before because I wake up and it's like, oh, what is this? So we know this. The Eagles have beat every NFC North team but the Bears, and the Eagles. The other way. And the Bears have beat every NFC East team except the Eagles. There we go. So Friday is going to be the showdown of the conference champs, I guess. But
there we go.
Or division champs. All right. So we'll see how that plays out. But I just like the fans were friends, I guess, this season, and now they're going to hate each other on Friday.
Okay. Listen, they mentioned the defense. I mentioned how they run the ball. That's still a recipe to be competitive in every game, whether you're going to pull them out at the end of these ones or not. Speaking of being competitive and wanting more out of your quarterback, let's move on to JJ McCarthy and the Vikings. I think this has been obviously a story we're looking at from one lens most of our discussion this season. It's been, okay, Kevin O'Connell put all of his purple-colored eggs in this basket of JJ McCarthy. This is what we're doing with this team that is talented enough, and they made moves in the offseason, Dianna, to be on a playoff type of run if they get in. Getting in might be an issue. Where they're playing because of their quarterback might be an issue. To lay it out there. And you have a nugget here that I want to get to for sure, but I do want to mention, before we get going, you will be doing the sideline for the Vikings. So you'll have the up close information from the Netflix Christmas game, where it will be Lions Vikings.
Lions Vikings, 4:30 Eastern, Christmas Day on Netflix. I'm going to be roaming. I'm indoors, which I'm really pumped about, obviously, because it's going to be in Minnesota.
And the big ship.
It's so cold outside. Yep. So apparently you don't even need to wear a jacket in there because it's so cozy and warm.
Okay.
I haven't covered games that late in the year. Last time I was in Minnesota when it was cold, it was you and me at the Super Bowl, baby.
It was.
And that was hell on earth. But yeah, no, this should be really fun. Okay, here's what I want to watch. And look, so much is going to happen between now and Christmas, so we'll see.
But I want to hear it.
My eye's going to be all over Justin Jefferson. I want to see what he's like coming off the field in terms of frustration. Who he's talking to. Fans know this already, and those that follow Scoop City know, and Justin Jefferson's been on the show a few times.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of the role model for how you want to be. Like he's not the typical WR1 crazy diva that we've seen and we've dealt with and we're cool with because that's just their personalities.
It's nature of the position. It's nature of the position.
He has a little bit of like juice to him for sure, a lot. But he's really kind of soft at times and spirited, meaning like he's just a little different than most wide receivers that can be loud and we're seeing loud wide receivers specifically in Philly, right? We just saw it last week with AJ. And now you have Justin out there. And did you see that one camera shot of him? Do you see that on your algorithm?
It's pretty vague. Maybe get a little more specific for me.
There was something floating around. Someone just clipped the shot of him looking frustrated, right? Okay. And who knows? It's probably the offense. It's probably a little bit of JJ McCarthy. It's just the fact that Justin Jefferson wants the ball. And this can't be good because his numbers this year compared to what we've seen, especially the production he had with Sam Darnold last year, it's a significant drop off for him. And I just give him a lot of credit, though, outside that one little clip. And by the way, there was nothing wrong with it. It was like just human nature, just like, man, I want the ball. He's doing a really good job from a leadership standpoint, he's
open, Diane. Like, I'd be frustrated. He's open. This offense and this offensive play caller and Kevin O'Connell schemes people open as good as anybody in football. So he's open. He has a right to be frustrated. I've been pro wide receiver all this year, by the way. I've been joining the group. Joining
their group. You're like the wide receiver rep.
Member. Yeah. Due to running scout team wide receiver in high school, I feel like I'm kind of in kinship to all these guys.
Definitely.
We're so close in talent too. It's just I get it. Especially with everything that goes right. And we know how hard Justin Jefferson works and we know what he does during the week. And it's this is the defense. This is exactly what Kevin said we'd run against this defense. We're in the right play call. We're like this. I'm about to eat. I'm running back to the huddle. No ball.
Yeah.
And so
and look,
I get it.
That's why on Christmas I want to see it up close because usually when we cover games, we're up in the press box. So we're so far and we have our little binoculars. I think
you can get behind the bench there though. I'm a big binocular guy.
I used to snag when we used to sit next to each other. I used to borrow them.
Take them.
And it was so annoying. I already have that eyesight, but then I'm just taking your stuff.
Especially when they're around my neck and you take them.
But that being said, let's see where it's at come Christmas. And I'm looking forward to watching this. And look, the Vikings definitely have to address what is this going to look like next year, right? Because we know he needs more reps. That's okay. He needs more time. We knew he was going to need more time. I don't know if they knew he would need this much time. Kevin O'Connell recently in an interview just said he's waiting for the cement to dry.
Oh,
cement doesn't take that long to dry.
No, it doesn't. It's called quickcrete a lot of times if you want to use it. What takes
the longest to dry? That when he said it, I was thinking that I'm like, maybe you should have used a different example.
Yeah, like some sort of epoxy or glue that takes a very, very long time.
Forever. I always mess it up because I'm sitting there.
I would love if Kevin O'Connell went out there and said, I'm just waiting for the nail polish to dry on JJ McCarthy. Because
I'm going to suggest that. I'm going to be like, next time, coach, in my post game, I'll do it. Coach.
This gives the idea of nail polish. Follow me here. That's what you got to say.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, "Please, you're very annoying, human."
Exactly. Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens, and then this offseason, I think could be really interesting. Is JJ McCarthy gonna be a Viking? Right? Like I say, yeah, because they're gonna probably keep working with him, because he does need more time. And everything I've heard out of that building about his work ethic and his commitment it's through the roof. But it just stinks for them. Like, I know that's such a basic thing to say, but the roster's so good. They should be better. They should be better. And they're just not.
They're just not. As before I move on, I'll just say this. Right now, JJ McCarthy is last in completion percentage, passing yards per game, touchdowns to interception ratio, and passer rating. And right now, he is the lowest third down passer rating since the year 2000. And he has the second lowest third down completion percentage since the year 2000. I sound like Conan O'Brien. Since the year 2000.
It's like mean tweets, more like it.
Those are brutal. Just had to throw them out there. This is the game of the weekend in a lot of people's minds, saying it. Everybody in that Kansas City area, as well as I think all eyes across the AFC, with the Chiefs and their playoff hopes with the Indianapolis Colts. This one is, it's kind of the turning point. We kind of thought last week was Denver was maybe a big week, but they lose that one, and now it's fascinating. I always sit on that playoff simulator that we have. We talk about it all the time on The Athletic. I just manipulate things because I don't have any friends, and I go back and forth with all these different things, and I just have to tell you right now, Chiefs, 56% chance to make the playoffs right now. They lose this game to the Colts, they drop to a 36% chance to make the postseason. Like, what? How did we? Here's the number one question. Dianna, how did we get here?
Well, what's interesting is statistically, when you look at what Kansas City has done, specifically on offense, Mike Sando wrote about this recently. Their numbers are actually higher. Like their units are better this year. Mm-hmm. It's the way in which they're winning. It's almost like they're out of luck. The bad side of the luck, or their bad luck, is this season, whereas last season, they were able to win those one-score games. I think they're 10-0 in one-score games. So, look, to me, it just I think they're going to swing back into the luck space. And I don't really have concerns that I think even if Kansas City loses to Indy, they'll still make the playoffs. They'll still find a way. But I think for Indy, to me, I'm more excited to see what they're going to do. I think this is the biggest test of the season for Daniel Jones. This is the one. Okay. In Arrowhead, against, a team that has tons of experience in the big games. And of course, against a defensive coordinator that knows a thing or two about slowing down quarterbacks. So we'll see how this shakes out. But to me, my nervous energy is really more for Indy than it is for the Chiefs in terms of what they need to do out there.
I understand that, because you're looking at this, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but I can jump inside your head and go, Indianapolis is trying to do something that they don't normally do, and this is new. And this, for Kansas City, it's like, no, we can still find a way. We play in big games. We know how to find a way. And I get what you're saying. Like, this is a test for the Colts to say, we are now part of this elite group. We're entering it in our first year with the group we have. And you touched on the guy that I have my eyes on, and we both know him well. And Lou Anarumo, now running that defense in Indianapolis. He, of anybody in that building, Dianna, knows what it takes to beat the Chiefs. He's had 2 weeks to tell everybody what it takes to beat the Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs hate facing Lou Anarumo, especially when he was with Cincinnati, his scheme.
The mad scientist, they said back then, remember?
Yes, I do remember that. There was a headline too, I think, in the paper. And then, which, by the way, I saw a shot of Jalen. This is so random. I saw a shot of Jalen Hurts talking by his locker. He had a newspaper, like, by his seat. And I was like, he's a tangible guy. He likes the feeling of his own fingers. I'm the same way.
Let's go.
I'm the same way. I love a paper.
Sprinkle it back. Good. Okay.
But yeah, the Patrick Mahomes hates facing Lou Anarumo, and he used to hate facing the Titans, or now I guess it would be the Patriots way of doing it. Those are the two that he'd always shared. Like, they don't want to deal with that. Now, that being said, Lou likes to make these kind of statements. And this is a kind of game where the cameras are just going to be stuck tight on that Staten Island Italian face of his as he's scheming up something to confuse Patrick. This is going to be one of those. It's going to be like Andy Lou, just like it was back in the Super Bowl. Remember against the Rams? It was like Sean McVay, and then Lou at the time was with the Bengals, and that's all the cameras kept showing. It was like both their faces up against each other all game long. So I'm expecting the same kind of thing. But yeah, my concern is not so much for the Chiefs here.
Okay, I dig it. I understand. I remember standing on that sideline for that AFC Championship game where Cincinnati wins in Arrowhead, and it's Lou, what he does post-snap to make it look entirely different than what it looked like pre-snap for Patrick. And he has the formula. He kind of talked about it in Indianapolis this weekend, what you have to do. You have to outplay them in terms of complementary football. You have to make sure they get field goals instead of touchdowns. Obviously, all these things are common in each and every week. They're just exaggerated when you play the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're common. And when you're asking these questions, you're so bored by it because like I've interviewed him 9 million times about big games, especially like in the playoffs. I'm going through usually on camera too about like, hey, like what's the key here? And everything you just listed is usually what he says. And you're like, oh, wow, kick field goals. That's real rocket science. But that's the difference, actually.
He is telling you how he calls it. Like, you're right. You're exactly right. And he's like, third down is everything. And, you know, red zone is everything. And he's going to have these things dialed up. We'll see with Sauce being there a little bit longer and Kenny Moore. He's got some bodies in the secondary. I know their focus from asking around is on Rashee Rice and the way he gets the ball. Yeah, I'm very excited.
This is the game.
I'm very excited for this one. This is the one. And you know what you should really be excited about? We are entering week 12. And so when we come back, I have 12 surprises that have happened in the 2025 NFL season that I'm going to ask you, and you tell me how surprised each one of these 12 make you. Okay? Let's do that coming up next. Oh, welcome back to Scoop City on a Wednesday. James Palmer, Dianna Russini with you. We are in week 12, as I just said to you, Dianna, before the break. So I'm going to give you, just because it's the holiday season and you and I love Christmas and love the holidays.
We do.
The 12 days of Christmas. Well, it's week 12. I'm going to give you 12 surprises that have happened this year. And we're going to roll right through these, but I just want your natural reaction. Again, Dianna has not seen these or heard these. This is like a blind surprise.
It's a blind test. It's a blind test?
Mask stinger situation going on here. Maybe not that, but the show stinks. Here we go. Here are my 12 biggest surprises. Number 1, the Broncos control the AFC. Not only the AFC West, but the entire AFC. They have not won the division since 2015. Patrick Mahomes was 13-1 against the Broncos heading into last week. He now loses that game. And the Broncos, I know Sean told us, but did you even think that at week 12, you'd be looking at the AFC with as good as the Ravens were and as good as we thought the Bills were and the Chiefs, that the Broncos would be atop?
Those sentences no one expected to be saying in mid-November. No shot. No shot. Competitive, yes.
Great point.
Annoying, absolutely, as a team, right? Just finding ways to win. In the mix, but to be this out in front and to be in the number 1 seed, that to me is very surprising. Very surprising.
76% chance of winning the AFC West right now. Fascinating. And we just talked about them a little bit earlier, and you have your eye on them this weekend. But for the Colts to have the number 1 offense, like, that
Shane
might be a bigger shock than our first one.
He's cooking. No, the surprise is a little bit on us for being so poorly educated on what it could be based on what the roster is, right? Because I don't think the reason why we're surprised by this is we had no belief in Daniel Jones. We were like, we'll see. But when you take a look at this roster top to bottom now, on both sides of the ball, you're like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. They've got a great offensive line. They've got a strong run game, right? And just the fact that Daniel Jones has played this well with a play caller that's really getting the best out of him. Yes, you're right. I am surprised, but we shouldn't be.
That's a good point. Okay, you kind of knocked that one backwards. That's okay. And I get it, because they won 8 games last year with no quarterback and a defense that couldn't stop anybody. You're kind of like, oh man, we kind of maybe should have seen it a little bit. But to be this good and Daniel Jones running the show, it's been great for Shane Steichen and company. And he's made Jonathan Taylor better. How about this? You got to remember, put it like, when I say this to you, you got to like put yourself into like July. You're in Sea Isle in July.
I know. Oh my God, you're right.
Okay. And you're going, I'm telling you this while we're sitting on the beach. Okay.
I'm tanning.
Yep. And I just go, hey, Dianna, guess what?
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now that Matthew Stafford is the front runner for the MVP. Even though he wasn't even sure he wanted to come back and play, and other teams were curious, what his intentions were. Matthew Stafford is going to lead the league with 27 touchdown passes, 6 more than anybody else in football, and he's the front runner for the MVP.
I'm getting sunburned right now.
Yeah.
I actually am not that surprised because it's Matthew Stafford, but also I feel like we're in a chapter of the NFL right now in this time period where it belongs to these vets. Like the veterans are playing well at a high level, and Matthew has never really shown that he's regressing. Like injury is always part of it, and health. And we know he's got the back situation. I feel like he's got all these situations, but he finds a way because he's so damn tough. And him being paired with Sean McVay, that just, I wouldn't say I'm extremely surprised.
The highest he's ever finished in MVP voting is 8th in 2023.
So you're right then. I should be more surprised. I'm just not because
he's a great player.
He's a great player, and he's always consistently really good, and he has one of the best play callers in football.
That's a great point. Great point. Career high in winning percentage right now, career high in passer rating right now, and he's on a streak of 273 attempts without an interception, he is rolling right now. How about this one? Go back to Sea Isle. Jackson Smith-Njigba is the best receiver in the NFL.
Look, I think the breakout was coming, but this is shocking to me that he's this good. I could barely pronounce his name a few seasons ago. You know what I mean? So the fact that he's on everyone's radar and he's getting all this attention because he's so good. And I didn't factor in Sam Darnold.
No.
Like I didn't think Sam would leave Minnesota and actually be better. So that one is very surprising to me.
That one's very surprising. And it's nothing against his game. It's just the league is chock full of great wide receivers. We just had Jamar Chase win the Triple Crown last year. And it's like, but no, JSN's the best receiver in football right now. Okay.
Crazy.
Sticking with the receiver spot. This one's a bum. Okay. It's kind of a bummer.
Bum.
Mike Evans' streak will come to a close of 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. You seem to do it every year. You thought it would go on forever.
I know. I tend to stick with history too, usually, but I guess I'm not as surprised. He's getting older. It was going to end eventually. So no, I'm sad because I love him, but it is what it is.
It's a bummer. He ties the GOAT, Jerry Rice, for most consecutive seasons, but it is the most consecutive season to start a career. Drake May will be leading the NFL not just in passing yards, Dianna, but also completion percentage. And to put this in perspective, he leads the NFL with 2,836 passing yards. He has a 71.9 completion percentage. This would be the highest completion percentage for a player to lead in passing yards in NFL history.
I am shocked. He looks like he's been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like there's just no blip. There's no learning curve. He has a new offensive coordinator. He has a whole new coaching staff. Everything is new. Yeah. And it's just like nothing. He makes it look so easy. And when we talked about this New England team at the start of the season, we both agreed they'd be competitive because that's the type of culture that was already being instilled in them. And we had belief in this coaching staff. But the fact that Josh McDaniels has been able to get this much out of Drake May, and Drake May's obviously very talented. This is surprising to be this good so soon.
Yeah, and everything you heard in training camp, you didn't hear anything like he was blowing the doors off of training camp. Like
I heard the opposite. Actually,
exactly.
I don't want to say terrible, but it was like,
this is kind of up and down.
I saw him at practice in Minnesota. Remember, I was like, JJ McCarthy is unbelievable. Drake is okay.
And here we are. Okay,
Summer lies.
Yes, it is. Number 7 is very close to Sea Isle. Saquon Barkley is 38th in yards per carry this season at 3.8. He's not in the top 10, obviously. He's 14th in yards, 15th in yards per game, which is roughly half of what he was having a season ago.
Yeah. I'm medium shocked. I knew it wasn't going to be the same.
And health has nothing to do with it.
It's not health. It's usage. Right? I think that's part of it here. It's blocking. So I'd say I'm semi-surprised. It's not talent. Saquon Barkley is still so good.
It's not talent.
There's no drop-off in what he's doing. which he posted a picture yesterday on his Instagram account of just his legs.
Oh.
And I'm like, it was very thirst trappy. It was like, look how big my legs are in case you forgot.
I'm going to have to bookmark that or do it myself.
Scared me. If I'm Dallas, I got
skinny
nervous.
legs. I have thin legs. Like my grandfather used to say, I take 2 steps and then my shorts move. Okay, here we go. Moving on to the next one. Whew. Number 8. If the playoffs started today, the Ravens, Chiefs, and Lions would all be out of the postseason. If I said that to you on a beach in Seattle, what would you say?
Holy cow, the NFL is drunk like me right now on the beach.
Yeah.
That's what I would probably say. Like,
snuck this in a Stanley and I'm on the beach.
Yes. Lifeguards, look the other way. Yeah, like these are teams that I thought had good drafts, decent free agencies.
Mm-hmm.
They have good programs.
Great
they should be
quarterbacks.
Playing in the playoffs. Like that,
Mm-hmm.
that is what, if they miss it, that is a big miss, and people are going to probably lose jobs so free. But, obviously we're playing pretend right now.
Yes.
So yes, that to me,
that's a shock.
But these teams specifically surprised me. The idea of good teams not making the playoffs don't surprise me because it's the NFL.
Yeah, but these specific ones, and when you have a MVP candidate quarterback, it's always a little bit different, or a team as good as all of them. Okay. If I was going to say, hey, Diana, guess what? We're going to have a record-breaking field goal this year, 68 yards. It's going to be an absolute bomb. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to go, who kicked it? Brandon Aubrey? And I'm going to go, no, it wasn't Brandon Aubrey. Would you be more shocked if I said that and it was Cam Little?
Yes, I'm shocked by that. He's automatic to me.
Yeah.
He's probably
he's
one of
the one you
very
would kick if somebody broke the record.
Yes. I had the most confidence in him. So who is it?
It's Cam Little. Little went big.
Little went big.
And he went out there and blasted him. Okay. Number 10. Christian McCaffrey is 9th in receiving in the NFL and 13th in rushing. But I'll go a step further. If I just said to you, he'd have 54 more targets than any other player on the 49ers and 43 more catches than any other player on the 49ers. Most of those because they're littered with injuries. He's the healthy one.
I am very surprised. He is the most reliable player right now on the most unreliable injury report.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Monday night, do you know this is, I didn't realize this, and I read it right before we hopped on the show. This is the first time Christian McCaffrey is going to face the Carolina Panthers since they traded him on Monday Night Football.
I didn't know that.
I was like, they've had to play before.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Look, it's not like the juiciest, sexiest story, but I will bet you he will go out there and do a really good job. The San Francisco 49ers in general, we have not done a good job here on the show giving them credit because I know we don't truthfully believe in their depth, right? Like we know this is going to probably come to an end here sooner rather than later. But what Kyle Shanahan has done in trying to manage this with, I don't even know who on the defensive side of the ball at this point.
Is it?
They've got the Brandon Ayuk situation. Why isn't he playing? What's going on there?
They haven't even opened his window yet. You're right. I think Kyle belongs in the Coach of the Year conversation. Okay. How about this? 3 youngsters, 3 second-year quarterbacks. And I was going to tell you, Diana, guess what? Yes, I got these shorts from Banana Republic. Yes, I have a brand new towel. Yes, Caleb Williams is 7-3. Drake May is 9-2. And Bo Nix is 9-2.
No way.
No way. That's a big no way, I think. And Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel in their first seasons are leading their divisions.
It doesn't make sense because we haven't seen this in so long. We haven't seen this many quarterbacks so young in their careers have this much success, right? This is what we always want to see, and fans lose their minds. But normally it's not realistic. And coaches are constantly preaching that we need to be patient with them because they need time. But credit to these guys for obviously putting in the work, but having the right leadership, having good support around them as well, and helping them figure this out because that transition is not easy.
Yeah, call me crazy. If you're a young quarterback and you have an experienced play caller, it's a bit of a cheat code. Josh McDaniels, Drake May, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, Sean Payton, Bo Nix. Makes sense to me. Okay, there's our final 12 surprise of week 12. Ready? The Packers and the Cowboys both have the same number of sacks. Now, this one was told to you after the Michael Parsons trade.
Can my answer be that's funny?
Yeah.
That's funny. That surprises me.
Well, yeah, I thank Jeremy for this one. This was his contribution to the group.
I thought that the Packers would have significantly more.
Yeah.
Obviously, knowing that that Dallas decided to trade him when most people around the league thought that was a really bad idea.
Yeah.
And we've had many conversations about what this Dallas Cowboys team needs.
Yep.
And that's a pass rush.
Yep.
And look, the Green Bay Packers defense is really good.
Outstanding.
Like, they have kept this team in games. They're the best part of Green Bay right now, right? Their offense is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is funny, but it does surprise me.
Yeah, that was wild. You don't need to comment on this, but we did have a bonus on honorable mention. In weeks 1 and week 11, we have had a player spit on another player and get suspended. Which
would
is
that
just,
surprise you? No.
It's gross.
Would
is
it
what
surprise you if I told you that I never missed a day of school from K through 12?
You seem like that person that loved going to school. So no, I'm not very surprised. I feel like you'd love it.
What a dork.
I know, but I think you'd love the social aspect of it.
I do. I just want to talk. Just want to see people.
You want to be there?
I had perfect attendance, K through 12.
Wow,
I got an award at graduation.
I think for all that sacrifice, they just give you a little freaking certificate, don't they?
The truth is, I never wanted to miss school, especially in high school, because if you missed practice, you couldn't play in the game. Like they have really strict rules.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember going to school, like throwing up in the car on the way in. And my mom would be like, get in there if you want to play today. Makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, listen, and you remember it. My surprise, personally, I did not think my son would be growing a mustache at 13 during this football season. And we got him a razor for his 13th birthday, which is a big deal because JP couldn't grow no facial hair in high school at all. Okay, we got one more break, and then we got one more block coming up. And we always love when Jacob Robinson asks us our newsletter question. That's going to be next on Scoop City on a Wednesday. Oh, welcome back to Scoop City on a Wednesday. We're closing things out. Dianna Russini and myself. Nice. We love to hear the newsletter, Dianna, from Jacob Robinson each and every week. So, Jacob, what do you got?
Dianna, James, good to be back with you guys. James, I know you always have a good eye on my background, so I want to point out the Toronto Raptors 2019 championship bobblehead. Go Raptors. Let's talk about the defending champion Eagles and their tush push. This offseason, it almost got banned at 22 out of 24 votes. One of the biggest reasons to ban it was health. And we're seeing this year that health doesn't really seem to be an issue. The biggest problem is the officiating. Missed false starts, fumbles that aren't counted, first downs that are given when they probably shouldn't be. There's so many issues from the officiating side that I don't think will really even be fixed by taking away the push, because Jalen Hurts can still do a QB sneak there. I want to turn to you guys. What are you hearing around the league about the tush push and whether or not it sticks around for another year?
Oof. Tush push is
I don't have
a bobble head, but I got a bobble body from the Fanatic.
Oh, I love that. Little shaky.
Little shaky room.
He's creepy. Okay. He's kind of creepy.
It is a little creepy. Dianna, here we are, back to tush and pushes. Tushes.
Pushy.
What's your thought right now?
Look, I think the competition committee is going to have conversations with it again. And look, it's going to be a different narrative this year because of what Jacob just pointed out, which this isn't about safety anymore. This isn't about the aesthetics of this play. This is just going to be about officiating. I did have someone point out to me, though, how embarrassing it would be for the league, though, if this did get banned because they can't officiate it. Like, that's not a good look.
It's a great sentence. I haven't heard anybody say it, but it's spot on, actually.
Right. So we'll see how they shake it out. But I can tell you from talking to teams all season long, everyone is disgusted by the way this thing is officiated. I mean, everyone has the same response. Like, they don't know how to do this. And this was brought up last year. This was brought up by a lot of coaches about why it should be banned. And the ones that were willing to, I knew some coaches that were like, look, I don't really care either way. Just officiate it well. Yeah. And are you going to be able to? That was really what they were focused on. And now we see.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. When people bring that topic up to you in these conversations you're having in all these inside rooms and circles, do they say it's the Eagles jumping too quickly? The neutral zone being compromised? Is that the part that is brought up more than any others? Okay.
It's the neutral zone being compromised. And look, the broadcast networks have done a good job of capturing it. You see it.
I saw a little, a little tap of the hand.
Oh,
last
you know how
week.
sometimes things happen in games and I'm like, I miss it. I'll be like, show it again. I didn't see, that I call it every time.
Yeah.
So that being said, this will be a topic. So, I don't know
if
the
pushback on that, Dianna, though, what my curiosity is, if that's the reason why I asked the question, if that's the number one officiating issue with the play, that has nothing to do with Jalen Hurts being pushed or not. If he just runs a quarterback sneak that way with nobody behind him, Dallas Goedert's 5 yards behind him going like this, I'm not pushing, they're still going to have a trouble officiating it then. So what are you going to ban the quarterback sneak? I don't understand.
Neither do I. And I don't think they do either. That's why they're going to have to figure out how this. I'm trying to think about who's on the competition committee that's the best at officials and game details like this. Because you got Sean Payton's not on it anymore, actually. You got Mike Tomlin, you got Stephen Jones.
Because I get
either way.
Don't know if he's down. When did the ball come out of his hands? I totally get that in the scrum. But if the part that you're bringing up is the most talked about aspect of it, that doesn't change if the rule changes.
It does not. Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I have a conspiracy theory before we go, and I'll just say this. What if the officials are calling it poorly on purpose to help it get banned?
That's how I know you're from Philly.
I probably read that on Crossing Broad or something like that.
They're so mean to me on Crossing Broad. Be nicer.
Oh, okay, I'll tell them that.
Yeah, tell them.
Okay.
Who's your favorite Philly personality right now?
Other than my father?
Who do you follow? Who's just like, God, they're insane. Or they're entertaining.
John Clark's my favorite one just because he's always at the airport. Johnny Airport is like,
really?
he knows when everybody's going to arrive, whether there's a transaction or a trade. He's there at the gate waiting for them at Philadelphia International Airport. And I'm always like, I feel like I follow John better. And he's just an outstanding human being, by the way. But I
see him on the beach every year.
I feel like he's been cloned. There's two John Clarks running around Philadelphia. There's two of them.
I know. I have walked by him and he doesn't listen to the show.
And you see a thing in the back of his neck because he's like a clone and he's like a copy of the copy.
I just try to avoid him though. I'm like, Johnny Airport.
Johnny Airport. He's everywhere.
Oh, great dude. No, you're right.
He is outstanding.
Have you come across Kyle Pagan? Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
He does these amazing men on the streets outside of the link.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know who he is. I just didn't know his name. I've seen him.
I love him. He is so funny. And he has a little bit of Billy on the Street to him with a dose of Philadelphia.
Okay. I know you're talking
definitely
about.
You should check him out. The Eagles should hire him.
Throw him in there. Okay, beautiful.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we'll hire him for Scoop City. Who knows? We'll be back with the Scoop City on Thursday. Dianna and I are going to run. Get ready for Thursday Night Football, by the way. Enjoy it and enjoy your weekend of football with Chiefs Colts. Do you have a prediction, Dianna, or do you not want to give one?
Oh, no. I'll give a prediction.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs Colts.
24-21.
24-21.
Rich car.
You're hearing a tie game and Harrison Butker walk-off field goal, apparently.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with a shocker. I'm gonna say the exact same score in reverse. 24-21.
Can't
Colts.
wait for Monday.
Okay. Wow. We'll talk about it Monday. Take it easy, Scoop City.
There. Thanks for watching Scoop City. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. New episodes of Scoop City drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.